And straight away starting with breaking news coming in. Those are the live visuals that we are getting of ED searches which are currently underway at Sanjay Raut's residence. So ED is currently raiding Sanjay Raut's residence. For now we are told his Bhandup residence is being searched by the Enforcement Directorate. Remember, Sanjay Raut had earlier skipped 2 summons by the Enforcement Directorate, and the latest what we are learning is that the Enforcement Directorate is conducting searches at Sanjay Raut's residence. We'll go across to Alisha as well, who's tracking all the latest on that, but what we are learning so far is that the searches are being held at Sanjay Raut's residence. Those are the early morning raids being conducted by the Enforcement Directorate. Remember, Sanjay Raut had earlier skipped 2 summons by the Enforcement Directorate. We have Alisha tracking all the latest on that. Alisha, give us the latest that you're picking up. The search is being carried out at Sanjay Raut's residence.
Well, yes, Amisha, it's a search that has been carried out by Enforcement Directorate at Sanjay Raut's residence. They reached this morning itself. We know that there were several summons that was given to Sanjay Raut, asking him to appear before the agency, and even in the same Patra Chawl redevelopment case, where the statement of Sanjay Raut has already been recorded. We know that they were it was around for 6 to 7 hours where Sanjay Raut was grilled at the Enforcement Directorate, but there could be possibility that there are some of the answers that need to be given before the Enforcement Directorate, and more questions to be asked to Sanjay Raut, which is why there were another summon, the first summon that was issued to Sanjay Raut, but there was an assumption letter that was given by Sanjay Raut and his legal team, clearly stating that he could not be able to join the probe just because he's in Delhi, the parliament is going on. He also asked for an assumption post 7th August, but even he was asked to appear before the Enforcement Directorate, and for not appearing, this could be an action that has been initiated by Enforcement Directorate, and some of the there are some of the evidence that has been put forward, and which is why Enforcement Directorate has reached to his residence. Now the search has been conducting.
Yes. Alisha, also if you could put this into context and give us some details of this Patra Chawl scam for which Sanjay Raut is under the ED scanner.
Well, it's a case that has been registered by Enforcement Directorate. It's a redevelopment. The case has been alleged of money laundering that is linked to the redevelopment of Patra Chawl in Mumbai suburb. It is what agency that has been come to know, because at the first the case that was registered by Economic Office Wing of Mumbai Police in 2018. After which Enforcement Directorate initiated an investigation under the PMLA Act. So the case that initially was registered was EOW. That was against Rakesh Wadhwan, Sarang Wadhwan, that is the promoter of HDIL, and others on the complaint filed by Mahada Executive Engineer. In the probe where Enforcement Directorate arrested even Praveen Raut, who is a former director in Guru Ashish Construction and an alleged aide of Shiv Sena MP, that is Sanjay Raut. We know that overall in the case, in the month of April, where Enforcement Directorate attached property that is worth ₹11.15 crore belonging to Sanjay Raut's wife, that is Varsha Raut, Praveen Raut and Swapna Patkar, that is the wife of this Sanjay Raut's close associate Sujit Patkar. He was questioned earlier as well. This is something about the 100 crore that was transferred from HDIL to Praveen Raut, and further there was some amount that was 83 lakh that was transferred to Varsha Raut, that is the wife of Sanjay Raut. So now this is something, a case, Enforcement Directorate has been looking into it. Varsha Raut has already been questioned. Even Sanjay Raut has itself has tweeted that he is going to join the probe, and where he was questioned for around 8 to 10 hours. After which there are again a summons that was given to Sanjay Raut, but Sanjay Raut could not be able to appear. He was sending an assumption letter to the Enforcement Directorate stating that he is in a Delhi, he is in a parliament, and which is why he could not be appear before the 7th August. Despite that, he was summoned. The last summon that we saw, that was on 27th of July. But then he has given a letter, an assumption letter from his legal team stating he could not be able to appear and he needs some more time. After which we are seeing the action that has been coming in from Enforcement Directorate, while early morning we can see that there are paramilitary forces as well that has been deployed during the action that has been initiated by enforcement directorate, because we know that the searches that has been ongoing at Sanjay Raut residence in Mumbai.
Yes, Alisha, stay with us. Just a follow-up question. If you could give us more details on those who are under the scanner other than Sanjay Raut. We understand Sujit, Patkar and Varsha Raut, like you mentioned. If you could give us more details as to the alleged role of these people as well in this Patra Chawl scam.
Well, we know that Praveen Raut that has already been arrested and he was questioned, and after which the link has come out. Because as I mentioned earlier, there was 100 crore that was sanctioned and that was transferred from HDR, that is from Sarang and Rakesh Wadhwan, and later that was around 83 lakh that was transferred to Varsha Raut, which is wife of Sanjay Raut. Now that is something and under the scanner. We know some question that Sanjay Raut need to be answered. There are some link that Sanjay Raut need to be answered, because the link that has been emerged before the agency is something now has to be answered by Sanjay Raut, and which is why he's been asked to come to the enforcement directorate. But we are seeing that he is keeping the summons regularly, whether the fact he came at once, but later he was summoned where he did not join the probe, after which we are seeing that enforcement director has already reached to his residence. The searches has been carried out. We have to wait and watch what can be seized or what are the material that has been seized by the enforcement directorate, because there are teams that has already reached at the residence this early morning.
Yes.
It is also we will wait for an official confirmation, but yes, it's a big development that has been coming in Patra Chawl redevelopment scam, where the enforcement director has reached Sanjay Raut residence and searches has been carried out.
Yes.